in Denpasar or you live in Bali?
I live in Dalo actually,
Oh,
not
Dalo.
Denpasar. Yes,
Oh,
you're
Dalo.
near, right?
I'm in the West Bali,
West Bali in.
Jembrana.
Oh, Jembrana. Okay,
Uh,
I see. I see. All right. So, okay, because in the writing task, we don't have like the exact way to say, okay, this we have 5 mistakes or 10 mistakes as such. So it's the quality of the writing that is being assessed.
mhm.
Okay. Wait. I think I haven't. Oh yeah. Sorry. Okay, so we have 4 aspects that are being assessed for the writing test. Okay. For writing task 1 and writing task 2, it's actually quite similar. Today we're going to discuss the writing task 1 first, so you get the general thing.
Okay.
Basically, we have first, how well do we answer it? Or in Indonesian, nyambung nggak? Nyambung
Yeah.
nggaknya sama with the question. The second, coherence and cohesion. How clear and how easy to understand your sentences, your paragraphs, your essay, not based on the vocabulary or the grammar, but the connectivity between sentences. It's important, right? Okay. Third, we have vocabulary, lexical resource. And fourth, we have grammar, of course. These are 2 obvious aspects of language, right? Now, for task achievement, IELTS is quite specific, I think, because they want a certain format to be followed. So you will have to write in paragraphs, so more than 1 paragraph. That's your first mistake in the mock test actually, but because you haven't known anything about IELTS before, that's understandable. Okay. So for task achievement, aside from the overview, aside from like the format is like there's the introduction, there's the overview, and there's the details. For task 1, you will also be assessed on whether you can choose the information or not. So it's not only about the English aspect, but whether you can read the diagrams if it's an academic one. If it's a general training one, so we have 2 modules, right? Academic and general training. The general training one will be about letters for task 1, so whether you can choose the correct tone or not. That's about the task achievement. The better you choose the information, the more relevant the information that are chosen, the more effective you present it, the higher the task achievement score is. That for, well, mostly if you're entering university or for like foreign university, they will ask for about 6.5 or 6, like that. For each section is 6 or 5.5, but the good one is 6.5. That's a standard one. So 6.5 is a mixture of both of these, a bit of 7, a bit of 6, like that. Okay, it's best to aim for 7 for task achievement. So you have to cover the requirements of the task and also be effective, like that. A bit lacking is okay, but no more than that. You have to know like which one to choose, which one to omit, which one to like highlight with your presentation. Okay, that's about task achievement. And then we have coherence and cohesion. Okay. Like I said before, it's connectivity. So the use of connectors and any other references, referencing devices are assessed here. Connectors such as in contrast, however, in addition, and so, etc. So how do you connect your sentences? Because you may know you teach lots of children, right? And you know that they tend to have short sentences when describing something. Like, I like apple, I want apple, like that.
Yeah.
So that's the difference between beginners and advanced. When you're more advanced, when you have more understanding about the language, you will say, instead of like separate sentences like that, you will say, I like apples, that is why I eat them, I want them. Or, I like apple, therefore I want them. There's the connectors there. There's the difference.
Transition
Yeah, transition
signals,
words.
yeah. Transition signals.
This also includes like this and it, like substitute words. And also about how you arrange your information, whether it's easy or not to follow it. For example, if you have like the one you did before, you have like a year, right? If you go from, for example, the future and then you go back to the past, it will be less easier to follow, right? Because like people will jump from here and there. So how you arrange your information so it's in order is also assessed in this aspect. For a 6 or 7 band score, you have to be logical in organizing the information so it's clear. And there's a range of cohesive devices. So you cannot just use the one cohesive devices over and over again, like furthermore and furthermore and furthermore. You have to show that you know a range of cohesive devices, including references and such. There could be a bit over or under use, so maybe like 1 or 2 sentences are not connected well, or you use lots too many cohesive devices when you shouldn't have to done that. So it's still possible to get that at 7, but what you have to put in mind is you have to show your range of ability. IELTS is basically about range, I think. Like range of grammar, range of vocabulary. And that brings us to the last 2 aspects. So you already know, in IELTS, because we have to show a range of vocabulary, it's best to paraphrase your words. So use different words to convey the same meaning. Do not repeat, do not repeat the words like that. Of course, like in any other test, you would want to show that you know high-level words, advanced words too, right? So include them. But I could say, unlike TOEFL ITP, the ITP TOEFL 1, where we have sometimes we have like very unfamiliar words or like very high-level words. The words in IELTS is more practical. So aside from being less common, you should also use it effectively. The meaning is accurate.
Okay.
Aside from that, of course, there should be no errors in word like spelling and word formation and word choice. Word choice is like how do you connect them? How, like locations, such as we say listen to the music, not hear music, right? The differences in meanings like that is also being assessed in lexical resource. And you might know the higher, the more difficult the word is, the more precise the meaning or the context is, right? So be careful when using that. And then we have grammatical range and accuracy. I think it's quite obvious how big your knowledge of grammar is, how wide it is. Can you use a variety of structure? So do you only stick to the simple tenses like present simple or past simple or the continuous ones, or can you use a range of that? And also, do you use like complex sentences, the ones that have many clauses? Can you put the clauses together effectively? And also about punctuation, do you use the punctuation according to the rules? You can say this is particularly important in terms of the comma, because in English, I think there are lots of rules about commas. And fortunately, people in Indonesia don't really study it in school, how to use the commas and such. Okay, so those are the assessment of IELTS, particularly writing task 1. For writing task 2, it differs in this aspect. The task achievement. It's not task achievement, it's task response, because the nature of the question is different. Like that. Okay, we're going to discuss the task 2 later. So in the next meeting, for now, let's focus here. Okay, let's go back to your work. So here, after you know what are the assessments, I would like you to assess your own work first before I give you any feedback.
Okay.
What do you think you can improve here?
Wait a minute, let me read it first.
Go on.
Until. I got a
Until.
typo over there.
Yeah, so be careful with typos. It will be counted as mistake.
Oh my God. I put a double comma in.
Which one?
In the line 7. I could start from the sentence. The changes happen in the projections of 2040, which show that China and Japan will have the same percentage and end date. I think I don't have to put that comma over there.
Yeah, you don't have to here. Okay, that's good.
Overall, the conclusion. Overview. Yes, 2 minutes. New present and future. Let me take it back. It's on the graphic. Based on the graphic. As the graphic shows, it can be seen that based on the graphic, it's just a variation, yeah, I think.
Yes, that's fine, because you only use this. You only use this once, so that's fine. But
can be seen. This is what I have done when I do the writing test, because I do the outlining and I make it a paragraph. So back again, back again, back again.
Okay. And there is one word, several words that I found that you've used over and over.
Yeah, I see.
Aside from percentage, because we cannot do anything from that with that
I
like
think
that.
So.
Right? We cannot replace it with anything else. So that's fine.
Percentage.
Percentage is fine, because if you can't find other ways to avoid mentioning it, then that's good. But what I meant here is another word that is actually changeable.
Okay, because percentage doesn't have any synonyms, yeah?
Yes. Even if they do, it doesn't fit. Mostly it doesn't fit.
population, the word
Exactly.
populations.
Population can still be changed.
Yeah. Okay. Teresa, let me take a pic. Let me capture this up. So I will have.
Wait, oh, sorry, oh, this one.
Okay. Populations.
Okay, now the tricky part about IELTS is that sometimes people, especially those who are eager to like show a variety of a variety of words when they are answering this, and like they think that you just have to find the synonyms of the words, but no, sometimes that doesn't work because if you find it, the context might be different, right? So instead of that, you can change it to like, for example, this one. After 90s eras, you can change it like this. After the 90s era, there were more people in the of 65 in the US among right?
Or can we made it into different one? Like we just omitted simple. Like after the 90s era, US dominated in the age or in terms of the age of 60, 65 among the other countries. Can we do that?
Yes,
So we
can
just
also do that.
erase it. So we just erase it. So it can be more simple.
You can
erase that.
I remember you have you're
So we can erase
currently
it. Then it could be straight to the point, and it's more simple.
it is.
Yeah, US dominated in the age of or over the age of 65, like that. Simple.
Or in the category of but this is all about over all about over the age of 65, but you can say in category too. So
the category.
Yeah, population and category is not synonyms. They're not synonyms, but in this context, you can use them. You can replace it like that.
Because
the context. Yeah. So it's not all about synonyms. It's about how you can say it in different ways. Anyway, as long as it makes sense and it's accurate, you can do that. Okay. Aside from that, there is another word that I found over and over. Dominated. Okay, it's not too much, but there's the same pattern of US and dominate. Okay, you would want to avoid that if you aim for a higher score.
Avoid to repeat the same words, ya Kak, ya.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think can replace the dominate word here?
US still dominate. US dominate, determine, no, dominate. The majority in the measure of.
Measure of? That doesn't work. The measure of means that it's from the same population then.
The majority is its dominate, majority, but it has to be paraphrased then. We use the majority.
Yeah.
Because it's not a verb.
It is not a verb. Aside from that, remember the majority means it's in one population. So only in the US.
Oh, okay. Dominate. Can I find it or no?
Of course, you can find it. We are learning
Okay.
after all.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait a minute. Let me find it then. Like dominate, control. Subjected, subordinate. I don't think so. Or I would like to ask you then, Kak Teresa, dominate.
How to change it? I think we have to change the sentence a bit.
Paraphrase then ya.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
US, was still the highest. The works, right?
Yeah. So I don't have to repeat the word dominate then. Overall, the population of people over the 65 years old in the present and future, overall, US US always has the population of people.
Or has always had.
Always had. Present and future has
Yeah.
always had. Oh, present perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
Present perfect. It's past and future then. Oh, okay. Has
Wait.
always had.
Present and future.
Present and future.
Okay, this is where it gets a bit complicated because we have to separate it, right? Like the present and the future is different. So has always had a population of people over the 65 years old, and or you can change it like that. In the
65 years old
span of the years shown in the graph.
Span of the years shown in the graphs.
In the span of the years. So in the period, basically, but longer.
In the span of the years, like phrasal verbs ya, Kak, ya? In the span of the years, like phrasal verbs?
Kind of like, not phrasal verbs. This is a phrase. Phrasal verbs means like verbs and prepositions, right? This is not verbs and preposition. It's basically a phrase. Years. Yeah. Span means like a stretch.
Oh. It's like the range like that.
Yes, like the range.
Oh. Okay, go.
Okay. One thing you're missing, two more things that you're missing here. You haven't written in clear paragraph. So we only have one paragraph here. Okay. The magic of IELTS is that it is okay to have only like 1 or 2 sentences paragraph in IELTS. Yes. Especially if you are using it for the introduction or conclusion in task 2. Here, because we don't have a conclusion, well, we can separate it too.
Overview. Yeah.
Yes, the overview. We can separate it like that.
Oh, see. So we can write it into some paragraphs, not just only one paragraph, which is on the topic, which is focused on the topic sentence, supporting sentence, overview, like that. So we can separate it, yeah.
Yes, especially because this one, the nature of the task 1 is a report. So we're reporting, we're describing only. So of course, you still have to take care of how you divided the information either. Like what's the relevance to group them together in one paragraph is still important. And the topic sentence should also be like somewhat clear. But other than that, Like this one is okay.
It's just only 2 sentences in the first paragraph.
It's okay. That's fine, especially for introduction. Okay.
But the
So
lines
actually
in
your
every paragraph, but the lines in each paragraph is not the same. Like the first paragraph, 3 lines. The second paragraph, 5 lines. Is that okay?
that is okay.
That is okay. Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
When we're writing
So I don't have
something,
to make. So I don't have to make it like in a one line. How many words? Second line. So it can be
no.
separated like that. Yeah.
Yes, we can just separate like that.
Oh, okay.
After this, I'm going to show you an example from one of the examiner. So in the Cambridge book, so you can compare it like, okay, this is a good one. But they made, oh yeah, they even only made 1 sentence paragraph for the introduction. So yeah, that is possible in IELTS.
Because I see that in the book, it's 1 paragraph. So I just follow like this, 1 paragraph like this.
Oh, which book is that?
Cambridge one.
Ah, okay. Weird.
But maybe, yeah, different insights, different thing. I have to get the new one like this one, so I can have the new insights.
Yeah, because from the webinar that I attended, they say that you have to write in paragraphs. Like
paragraphs. Okay.
Yes, with S. That's the thing.
So more than 1, yeah. Paragraphs. Right then, got it.
Especially for task 2, because task 2 is an essay, an argumentative essay. Like that.
Oh yeah, argumentative essay, pros and cons, yeah. Pros or cons.
Okay. Aside from that, what you're lacking here is the detail of the numbers. You haven't included any numbers here.
Details of the numbers.
I like to explain to my students usually, like when you're writing this, imagine that the people who are reading this will not see the chart. They cannot see the chart. Imagine it like that. If they cannot see the chart, based only on your response, can they understand what's happening? Like that. You can understand what's happening, but you don't have accurate information. Meanwhile, reports are supposed to be accurate. Right. Aside from that, including the numbers will add more words, which means it's easier for you to achieve 150 words.
Include the numbers, yeah.
Include the numbers. So we need to, for example, here over after the 90s era. Add, for example, starting from just above. What are the, okay, there's no percent. Oh, this is percentage. Oh, yeah. Just above 15%, or if you want to make it more percent, and 2000 to okay 2020, because you use 2030 here, to almost 30%, and 2020.
Teresa,
Already.
Sorry to interrupt. Can we use percent, or it is just the symbols like percentage symbol, because percent it is count 2 words now.
Yes, that's also
So
another trick.
Can we? Oh, that's the trick.
To add more words, you can't just use this. And this is the British variant, because in America we usually combine them like this. Percent
Oh,
together.
percent. That's the trick.
Yeah, the British one. If you're running out of words, you can just like use per space cent. But if you use this one, that's also acceptable. That's fine.
But it's less words, yeah.
Less words, all right? Like
That's
that.
what I say in the writing tips, like skills tips in IELTS, that the more concise, the more simple, the better. So I think that percent, but that's the trick then. So I can use that.
Yes, we can use that.
Okay.
Because this one, the more concise, the simpler means like the way you present it. Like, do you use overtly like long sentences that is not clear, or do you present it concisely or not? And this part, it doesn't affect it much, right? Whether you're using like the percentage symbol or the percent like this, it's still the same.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
Okay. Right, so you have to include things like this. Like that. And the one more thing that is missing is the India. You haven't mentioned anything about India.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
And
nice.
that's actually crucial because India is the lowest. So I usually like to highlight the highest and the lowest because it's comparing. It's like the bottom line and the uppermost line.
Okay.
Like that. So here, include.
You will send me this?
Of course.
Thank you. Later, I will revise this one. So should I send you the revision again?
If you have any time to do it, that's good.
For learning, why not? Yeah.
Okay, and okay, I think this will be more sophisticated if you change it like this, with China having more population.
And ended in 2050 with China. Noun phrase, with China having more.
Yes.
It's not a new sentence then.
No, it's not.
It's a noun phrase. China having more population.
It shows your range too, because you know noun phrases then, not only which.
And China having more populations. I'm sure that China and Japan will have the same percentage and ended in 2050 with China. In the first phrase, it is future tense. In the second phrase, with China having more. Is that okay if we use the different tenses in one sentence? Because I see that in the first line, it is will have. So I think that the similar tenses should be used in one sentence, like will have with China that will have more population than Japan, I think. What do you think?
Cannot, because we're using with here.
So it's still having like that?
Yes. Having here is a participle clause, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, because we don't, it doesn't affect, sorry, it is not affected with any tenses, if I'm not mistaken. Like this one starting here, right? So no matter what the tenses use in front, the later one will always be the verb ing. Doesn't change.
I see. Participle clause.
You already mentioned it too. It's a noun phrase, so this is counted as a noun. Not there's no verb anymore. Okay.
No, yeah. Because I thought that at the beginning that having is like the verb, but I see that with it start from with, and then it's the second phrase. Oh, the comma is omitted.
Yes,
Okay.
comma is omitted. There's
So
no comma.
Like so it's like in the one phrase, yeah. Which is actually we have the same percentage and ended in 2050, which China having more population. So yeah,
This kind of act like the gerund, I think, but it's not a gerund.
Yeah, it's not a gerund. Gerund is always mentioned in noun phrase, but if it is not noun phrase, means that it is not gerund.
Yep. Oh, okay. Another tenses mistake because projection of 2040.
I see. Projections future.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Will also happen. So you can include also to put emphasis. Oh, but you already use it here.
I use also.
Oh.
Will have.
Will have happened. You can say will have
happened
happened too.
Will have happened.
Well, if you use will have happened, I think it's more fitting if we use by 2040. So instead of in the projections of 2040.
Will happen in the projections of 2040. Will happen.
Okay. Starting from just above 15%. Okay, until here it's good. Okay. What's missing is here too. Okay, you haven't mentioned the early numbers for China and Japan. Right? Because like, as for China and Japan, which were mostly in the middle. Like, similar upward trend. Blah, 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 blah. So include the also the beginning of this.
The data, yeah.
You don't have to like really one by one. You can just, for example, say Japan was like above 10. And oh wait, yeah, Japan was above 10, even more than US in 1980, but it had a slower climb, for example. It reached just about 20 in, oh wait, it reached just about 15 in 2020 and is projected to only climb by under
22,
10%. You can say
oh, the
under
percentage.
10% by 2050. So describe them one by one. That's okay too. If you only want to highlight this is also okay. For example, like at first Japan was like much higher than China, right? China was only 5%, Japan was above 10, but then China's number grew significantly and is projected to have the same percentage with Japan and even more by 2050. So you don't have to like really say the middle part, only the changes like that. For India, it's much more easier because you can say like this. For example, the out of the 4 countries, India was always
the lowest.
Lowest percentage with 5% in 1980. Or even though it grew from 5% in 1980 to slightly above 10% in
Slightly above 10% in 2050.
In 2050. In 90. Oh wait, we have to separate this because this is the projection. Let me change it to make it more accurate.
It remained around
5% from 1980 to 2020. So I say around because it's just slightly up.
Yeah, around.
And it's only like projected. It's projected to only increase to about slightly above 10% by 2050.
Kak Teresa, it remained or it is remained? Because you use is projected.
Because
it
this
is
is the
remained
past.
Or the past and is projected.
Because it's 2050.
Oh, yeah, it's the past. What about will be projected? Because it's future. Or we use is projected because it is.
Because we project it now.
Projected now.
Okay. If we only use increase, we use will. Will increase like that. So projected, predicted, because we do the prediction or the projection now, we use the present tense.
Present tense. Because I see the year 2050 means that, it might be in the future. It is the future. So it is predicted, is projected. If we use increased, will increase, then yeah.
Yeah, because the increase happens in the future, but the prediction and the projection is happening now.
Okay, got it.
Okay, So yeah, make it more complete. So this is obviously more than 150 words, right? Oh,
more than 100.
230. So yeah.
If it is 150 as the target, can I make it more like 160, 170?
Yes.
What about the maximum? The tips,
There's a maximum, but it is recommended not to exceed 230.
230, not exceed. Oh, okay. 150.
Unfortunately, I tend to write over that. I don't know why. But yeah, as you said before, many sources say that it's good to be more precise and more concise. So about like 180 or 200 is the like ideal number.
280 or ideal. 180 or 200.
As long as you don't, but as long as you don't answer under 150 words, that's fine.
So it wouldn't be under.
If you answer under that, if you write under that, it will be penalized. And if I'm not mistaken, the penalty was half a band score, I suppose. So it's quite a lot.
I thought in the beginning when I did this one, if it is less than 150, penalty. More than 150, penalty. So I consider that I take the same the safe one. Okay, sorry. Please.
Actually, they say at least 150 words.
At least, yeah, at least.
Okay. Now for this one, do you have any other question?
It's not a question, it's just self-reflection for me that machine is not always right. Because I see that when I took the mock test, it shows 8.5. So, oh my God. Did I got that high? Did I got that high? So I asked Mr. Haga, like, I think my writing score is good, but I'm not sure. So Mr. Haga said that check the test. I don't know. I just do it like in the mock test tutorials. Like I have the rules that I followed from Jeremy Harmer in writing, like outlining, drafting, editing, and then final draft. I do it like that. I outlining first, and then I develop the outline. So I revise it until 150, 150, and it's like I have the final draft like that. But as you have revised for now, I see that I have huge of errors and mistakes.
I think it's more about you don't know rather than you cannot. Yeah. That is actually a good way to write. So you have to outline first.
Yeah, outline.
So that it's in order, so that it's neat. Your writing is neat. And many topics.
So I have to take or break down the topics first. Like this is the topic, this is the graph. So I have to break down the topics and I have to develop the outlines. So it can be relevant regarding to the topics then.
Was it for the task 2?
Was it task 1 and task 2?
Task 1 and task 2, I see. But you managed to do it.
I see that when I'm sorry, Teresa, please.
I think for task 1, if it's for me, I only like see for the outlines, I see like which one is the highest, what are the changes that happen that is significant. Because
but
when
India is not mentioned.
When you're presenting something, you have to see how the data is relevant, right? If it's like normal all the time, then there's nothing to report. We can already say, okay, it's normal. India was always the lowest. United States was always the highest, and that's all. We cannot write 150 words. But for the IELTS test, Usually they will present some kinds of changes or comparisons that we can work on, like this one.
Changes and comparisons.
Note down the changes and comparison. Which one's the highest? Do they all grow? Do they all increase? Do they all, or is one of them having a decrease? Like that. Okay. Now, I want to, if you have any other questions, you better ask it now because I want to show you the examiner one.
I would like to ask you maybe one question. As a reviewer, what is my IELTS writing score then?
Okay.
Before you revise it. Before you revise it.
Before revising it.
Yeah.
I think
What do you think?
it will be about 5, I think.
Okay.
Because first,
5.
the format you hadn't written in paragraphs. Second, there were repeating words. Third,
paragraphs,
yeah,
repeating words.
the third one will be because there are missing information.
Missing information.
Yeah.
Oh, India,
Wait,
yeah.
Yeah, about 5 or 5.5, I think.
5. Okay. I have to improve.
Because for a 6th one, you have to have complete information and it also like the correct format.
Thank you. I have to improve.
It's okay. Now you know how to do it. So I think you can do much, much better. I'll be looking forward to your work.
For sure.
Okay. Now I want to show you this one. So, wait, before I show you this. So this is a model answer from examiner. The table is actually different from the one you did, but it's like this. Okay. Okay, you can screenshot it if you want, or take a picture to compare it.
Yeah, I screenshot this.
All right. Now, let's see how the examiner answer it. To be noted, they say that it's a very good answer. So like that, but only one of many possible approaches. Okay. What you have to study here is first, how did the examiner arrange the information, which information are included, and like
it's just only one sentence in the beginning of the paragraph,
right?
Wow.
So this is introduction.
Yeah, the introduction is only one sentence then.
Yes, and it's only the paraphrasing of the description in the question.
First table, the second table, comparing two tables. First data, second data, the comparison of two data. Like you had mentioned before that about changes and comparisons.
Yes. This is the overview.
Yeah,
this one is quite a lot actually, because sometimes we can give only one sentence overview. So you can put it like with the first one so that it's not lonely, like a lone sentence like that. Or you can put it in the first paragraph, sorry, the second paragraph, like that. So as long as the overview is there and it's clearly highlighted with overall, it's already counted as a good one. Okay, now see the data.
Yeah, the numbers. 1.8 to 2 million euros, 0.8 to 1 until 1.7. If the table is not shown, I can imagine I understand this.
right? Mhm.
Yeah.
How did the
Jump
writer
from-
arrange it, by the way? Because 1.8 and 0.8 is not in order. It seems not in order, right?
Yeah.
Mhm. So how did he do it?
Same small amount. It is in the same amount, like 1.8 to 2, it's like 0.2. 0.8 to 1, it's like 0.2, the similar data.
Very good. See the next one.
Three to 6. Yeah, it's the different
Slightly larger.
interest. Yeah, the larger,
So there's
larger,
comparison when we're using larger.
larger in Belgium.
Okay, so it becomes larger.
Larger and the
Three
largest.
the largest.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's in
Oh,
order, right? It's easy to follow it.
Dynamic
And you
data.
can easily grasp the comparison and the relevance. Okay, the writer also highlights this.
The main point of the second table, and then the
Yes.
explanation, the topic of the second table, then it is explained by the supporting sentence. Right, the data shown.
You can also see that they use different ways. Jumped, grew, this one increase.
Jumped.
You can explore that too, like find other ways to say it increase. You can also say went up. We can also say surge, right?
Developed.
Develop depends on the context too.
Oh, okay.
Because it's a bit weird if we say the number develop.
Develop, yeah. Numbers not develop, numbers increased.
Yes. This is also increment. Okay. And see, the one that falls, the one that decrease, they put it at the end. So as not to ruin the flow, I can say. So from the highest to the lowest, the other way around. Because if we put this, the decrease. Because if we put the decrease in the same way like this one, because this is like minus something, right? The first sentence here will not be relevant anymore.
Teresa, I would like to ask, can I get the link for this video? Because I would like to see it again and again.
Of course. I'll send you the book too, by the way.
Yeah, the technique.
Okay. Now see the overview. What did the writer highlight?
It is clear. Comparing the two tables, it is clear that 1919 the dominant data from those two tables, like 1 from 5, 1 from 5, like that. Which one is dominant? Then it is closed by the overview from the data, except for the certain.
Yes, for
certain
both
countries.
products had recent, except
Exactly.
for
For the certain.
except if you aim for a 9. I think only mentioning this as the overview, this part, the last sentence is fine, because it already encompasses like the conclusion of the chart, right?
Conclusion, yeah.
It acts like a conclusion even though it's not. You can also put it in front. That's why it's not a conclusion. It's general view, the overview. Like
In the task one, as what I've been saying in the video, like the task one must include overview. Task 2 must include conclusion.
Yes. Good. Okay. One more thing that I want to highlight this one.
Increasing, increased, increase. Yeah, it's repeating.
Okay, it seems repeating, right? But it's not. Do you know why? Because this shows the awareness of word formation.
Increasing, increased, increase. Different grammar, yeah.
Yep. Because first, shows low-level coffee sales increasing in all 5 countries. This acts like a gerund.
It's not a verb.
It's not a verb. The second one is a verb.
Yes.
The third one is a noun.
Gerund, verb, noun, different form.
Different form.
Different
so
function.
using different form from time to time is good, but as I said before, we want to show our range, so don't rely heavily only on one technique. Use different words, also use different forms like this. You can also see that the writer described it differently for like this one. So the format here is subject and verb. Meanwhile, here they use there was an increase. Ada.
There was.
And then in the third sentence, they use the increment was. So they like reform it a bit. This is what they mean with variety of variety of structure.
Yeah, variety of structure. It's not like subject, predicate, object, subject,
Yeah,
predicate, object.
it's not always about like in Switzerland, sales double. In Belgium, it increase like that. It will make it monotone if you do that. Okay, and this is why this is a sample of very good answer. But don't be too focused on this, because there are other ways to make this one, to make the table, to make the description of the table, and it's also good. This is only one way. Okay. Have a better picture in mind?
Better picture.
Okay. Do you have any more question about task 1? If not, we can end it here.
No, I think let me learn and improve myself first.
Yeah, the key is for more practice and learn and learn and learn.
Yeah.
Okay.